Okay, last thing we need to cover is how to simplify these complex fractions. I wrote some things down here. I'll explain as you're writing, then pause to let you finish writing. A complex fraction, here's one that we have right here for 15 and then 16. It's when it has a fraction kind of inside or within a fraction, like the x over 4 and the 5 over 8. Okay, so that's what a complex fraction is. Our goal when simplifying complex fractions is to eliminate kind of this inside fraction. We need to get rid of that x over 4 and 5/8. So here's our strategy. We're going to find the common denominator of those. So in this case, it's going to be 8 of the inside fractions, then multiply the top and bottom, numerator and denominator, by that common term, the 8. Okay? So I'm going to start. Pause if you need time to write that down. Okay, so the common denominator is 8. So what I'm going to do is multiply the top by 8 and the bottom by 8. And if you kind of look at this in the holistic approach, this is just 1. So I'm not changing the value of this. We're just changing the way it's going to look, and we're simplifying it. All right, so just to be very clear what we're doing, you might be able to start simplifying it once you get used to this, but I'm going to write down every step right now just to make sure we're clear. I'm ignoring this 8. I basically want to multiply 8 by that. So I'm going to do 8 times x over 4 minus 3. And now I can distribute this 8. Okay. Now this 8, this whole number of 8, I could write that as 8 over 1 if it helps you and get back to your rules of multiplying fractions. So 8x, and then I have 1 times 4. So this is going to be 8x over 4. Then 8 times a 3. Okay, so there's the numerator now. On the bottom, we have, once again, 8 times this expression. Okay, so 8 times x plus 5/8. So this is 8 over 1. So 8 times x is 8x. 8 times 5/8. Now, if you're good at cross reducing, you realize that those 8s are going to cross out. If you're just sticking to multiplying across, fine. Take your time and you'll get 40 over 1 times 8. Don't make the mistake, though. Some students will do this. 8 times 5 and get 40, and some of you do 8 times 8, 64. That's not correct. It's not how you multiply whole numbers times fractions. Okay, so now we did that step. Now we're going to simplify, and we'll see those inside fractions disappear. Okay, so here's our final answer. The 8 divided by 4 gives me 2. So we got 2x minus 24. That's the whole idea. If we multiply by a number that's a factor or a multiple of 4, it's going to reduce, and the fraction's gone. Same happens here. 40 divided by 8 is 5, so I end up with 8x plus 5. The inside fractions are gone. You might want to take a peek to see if we can do anything to simplify this, but if I take the 2 out, try to get x minus 12, and I can't simplify anything, so I can leave it like that. Okay, like I said, once you get used to this, you could, and you're good at cross reducing, you could maybe skip this step because you see the 8 divided by 4, you can jump to the 2x. That's fine. You go at whatever pace you need, but we should see some type of work though when you're working through these. Okay, we're going to keep this pretty straightforward. We probably won't even do problems like 17 and 18. They get a little bit messier. Yeah, maybe 18. We'll probably skip 17 though. All right, pause, try 16, and then we'll wrap it up with 18. All right, so here's your feedback on this one. Multiply by 12. So if you put this over 1, we get 12x over 4. And maybe you can simplify that right away. Fine. Plus 12 times 2 is 24. 1 times 3. So here's the numerator. On the denominator, we end up with 12x. And then it should be pretty easy to cross reduce. It just make this 7 right now. Okay. All right. So up top, I get 3x plus 8 all over 12x plus 7. Nothing I can factor out to reduce anything. That's the answer. Okay, let me quickly go through 18 with you, and then we'll get this wrapped up. 18. This also has a common denominator we could multiply by. Now that we do have one whole fraction divided by one whole fraction, so we could multiply by the reciprocal. I'll show you both. But if we take the complex fraction approach and multiply the top by the common multiple of 6x and the bottom by 6x, this is what we get. Once again, maybe I should break this up for you. So I have 6x over 1 times, I'm going to go ahead and factor this too. X plus 2, x minus 2 over 3x. And then these, we should see that it reduces, right? The 6 divided by 3 is 2 over 1. Then the x divided by x is gone. So now what am I left with up top? 2 times x plus 2, x minus 2. Okay, and then just 1. That's the idea of multiplying by the common multiple. That's gone. Okay. All right, on the bottom, a little bit easier math. I don't even know if I need this step, right? The 6x times over 1 times this, they cancel right out, and I'm left with x plus 2 squared. Okay, or if you want to expand it, just so you realize that there's 1 left over, that's fine too. And then we can simplify this one and be done. X plus 2 divided by x plus 2, we get 2 times x minus 2 all over x plus 2. Okay. Now, the other alternative, we could have realized that I did have one complete fraction divided by one fraction, so I could have did this over 3x times the reciprocal of that and put 6x over here and x plus 2 squared on the bottom. And that will also get you the right answer after we simplify it and multiply across. Okay. All right, that's it for today. Have a good one.